the availability of the videos. Apparently, I don't know which ones of you, some of you had access to the videos. So if you had access, tell me. Okay, so you do have access. So a couple of people that were that watched the videos, Corey and Scott, I think were watching the videos, and then Dennis, you jumped on, did not have, they said they did not have access when they went to their referral maker. So we're going to look into that. But as soon as we finish week 2, as of tomorrow, for 7 days, you should have access to week 3 videos. That's how it's supposed to be going. I won't be sending them to you. Rhonda won't be sending them to you. You have access in your referral maker. So number 1, are all of you set up on your referral maker? Anybody who's not? Can you unmute yourself, you guys, for right now?
Yeah, I'm on.
Okay, great. Everybody is on referral maker. Yes. You've been in there. You've kind of played around a little bit. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. How is that going? Number 1, let's talk about that. Let's get fundamental here. How's that going?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Challenges? Thoughts?
I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Who? Kathy? Was that you?
Oh no, that wasn't. The one thing I couldn't quite figure out is there a spot where we can view addresses like I would in like an Excel template, so I can quickly make edits and such?
You can print it all off. So if you take and you can just say I want to print off all my A's, or you can go A's, B's, C's, D's. You can print it all, and then it comes out in a spreadsheet.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Or you can, once you start doing groups, you could say like, okay, I want all of my A people who if you have groups of people that are in the medical field, say that's one of your groups, all my A people that are, you can really start like tracking it down. So yeah, and then on February 11th, I think it's 11th, when Brittany Lehane is going to do a presentation on how to actually like make groups and some of the internal breaking it down. I think you guys will all want to be working up to that, because even I am going to be paying attention to what she's saying, because I get frustrated with it too after all these years. So, but she's got some simple ways to do it. So I just want to make sure everybody's locked into and has referral maker, and you're starting to put information in there. Mm-hmm. Do you see how what we said was how easy it was, that it's made for a realtor kind of reality?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and do you have it on your phone? Have you downloaded it to mobile?
Not yet.
Oh, super easy on mobile also. So download the app to your phone when you can. Okay. And so today's 4 videos were, let me just get the list so it's easier. 3 modules. How to stay in contact, caring for your clients, building a sense of community. So we just got through how to stay in contact and caring for your clients, and we didn't get through the number 7 one, but hopefully Scott and Corey, you'll be able to do number 7 on your own through yours soon, before we get on to the next week. Next week's is going to be just, next week again is going to be 3 of them. So module 8, 9, and 10. And that
Hey, Carol, I'm sorry. I was under the impression that we were doing modules 1 through 4 for this week.
Yeah,
That's what I had as well.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
And so, yes, I also won't have 8 available until 2-4. And I'm sorry that I thought that we were to watch 1 through 4. So I may be in the same boat as the other guys.
I'm so messed up with this. Okay. That's all right.
Okay. I had a little bit of panic there for a second that I didn't get the assignment.
Okay. I was thinking we already had done those before, but we actually didn't. So,
Thank you, Ryan. I was too embarrassed to say anything.
oh, no, no, no. This whole program is a brand new program that they're executing for us. And it's completely different than anything we've done before. So I'm always assuming that, I've got the same abilities to be able to get these out to everybody, or that they can watch them themselves. So this is totally on me, completely on me. I'll take the dive for this. So you guys watched 1 through 4, and you did have availability to that.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Corey,
Alright.
we're ahead.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Corey, you're ahead.
Yeah.
You thought we were behind.
Okay. So that kind of like takes.
I was just going to blame it on Katie. She told me to only watch 1 through 4. So
You guys have access to week 2 stuff yet, or does it come tomorrow?
Mine says available tomorrow, but I'm actually able to click it, but not
yeah.
not the next one after.
So you should be able to do week 2, because the way that this should be going, like if you guys were, and it's probably because you didn't even know what 100 Days to Greatness was. So we couldn't tell you like, okay, go watch these four modules. You don't even know how to get on Referral Maker. Go watch these 4 modules. And we didn't watch the 4 modules together, which is what we usually do, is we usually watch modules together. We're trying to save people's time, and in trying to do that, we're kind of probably creating more time. So that's how it would have gone. So you would have watched 4 videos before that first one, and we would have had the first class. Then between last class and this one, you'd watch the next 3, which we've already just done, 2 of them. And then have today's class, and then watch for week 3. Then you would be watching those going from now until next Wednesday. So I want you to catch up to week 2 between now and next week, and I'll just push everything forward. And we should be okay. Our flow should be right then. Because this week 2 is probably more meat than week 1. Week 1 is like, here's the program, here's what it looks like, creating your database, and we will concentrate on those things today. But as a preview to what's coming next week, and what we just watched 2 of, is the whole premise of contact care and community, and showing competency, and how the company supports all of these things. So that's going to be we're really going to start like using it and working it from this week forward. So just so you know, so be prepared for that. And when you're watching these 3, just having watched 2 of them, I would say take 1 a day, and then think about it, see where you're going to be utilizing that, because it's a lot, and it's the whole system in kind of a bang, 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 bang videos. So I want you to do it that way. But for right now, let's go back and let's talk about what you guys actually did watch and what you did. Okay.
Real quick, Carol, real quick. I just want to make sure. Sorry, it's been a crazy morning. So for next week, we need to watch modules 5, 6, and 7.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Sorry to
Week
interrupt. I just wanted to
is-
make sure I was.
Okay. So today is the 28th, correct?
27.
27.
27th. And so the homework is modules 6, 7, 8. No, excuse me,
I thought
4, 5, 6, 7.
5, 6, 7.
Okay. Which is the contact care and community. And then the conversation next week will be all on that, which will be a lot. So, okay, perfect. All right. So let's go back to creating a vibrant database and what you guys are doing in your Referral Maker. We don't have to make this a super long class, because then we have the 12 o'clock. So I'd like to actually be able to give you guys a half-hour break, especially those who've been on the phone, or maybe 15-minute break before we go into the next class. So with Ben, and Ben's got, thank you so much. everybody who gave feedback and questions, because now we've given that to Ben, and now Ben can utilize that in the class. So it's perfect.
Thankful you guys are putting them out there on the Grow site so I can watch them when I get home from work.
Do what?
I said, I'm thankful you guys are putting them out there on the Grow site so I can watch them when I get home from work.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Yeah, because we realize that, not everybody is available to do that.
When I first started, I asked about it and they were like, no, not at this time. We're not doing that. And since then, since all the COVID stuff, you guys have started doing that. And it's like really works good for me because I can sit at home in the evenings and watch it after work.
Yeah, well, Tim and I have been working on this, this particularly the video library for the last 6 or 7 months. So we were able to do that, and Tim has done just an amazing job of
Yeah,
gathering all that stuff together. We take it, we get it, and then he's uploading it into different categories, and it's
It's great.
brilliant.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm really glad that helps you, Kylie. So
thank you.
yeah, here comes Tim. Hey, guy.
Sorry, I'm late.
That's okay. So Tim, we just got through this, and I'll just summarize that whole debacle around the videos is some of them were watching 1 through 4, and we were trying to do 5, 6, and 7 because it's week 2. Okay, which that's what we just watched. We just watched 5 and 6 together.
Okay.
We didn't have time for 7, which is fine. A couple of people have not had the availability of being able to pull them from their referral maker. That is, many people though have been able to pull them. Okay, but that I worked on. I'm going to work on again to make sure we get it done. But for next week, they will be watching 5, 6, 7, which is contact care community. And
Okay,
then our
Thanks.
entire conversation is going to be about that next
perfect.
week. And it's got some really, really good meat to it. I don't know if you've watched them, but well, probably not because we didn't have available.
No, I haven't. I've only watched the first couple, the first
Yeah.
4.
So the first 4 that they have been watching were Launching Your Career, Working by Referral System, Creating a Vibrant Database, and the 80-20 Rule in Action. So they all have connected with Referral Maker
Cool.
and all have logged on and have started building their database on there. And so I think individually, I'd like to know where each one of you are with that so we don't miss somebody and leave you behind, first of all. So Scott, where are you with your referral maker, and are you getting stuff in there? Is it starting to make more sense? Do you have any questions?
Oh, I don't have any questions because I haven't fumbled around with it yet.
Okay.
I just got, excuse me, I got everything on paper. I'm gonna probably have to manually enter most everything because I don't have a list to import per se. I've gathered my list from my in-laws and from my mom, from the whole family, and then of course I have my friends and contact list. So I'm
Okay.
essentially combining 3 paper lists into one. I'm just gonna manually enter them all into the CRM.
So are you gathering not only name, a phone number, email, and address?
Email is where I'm lacking, but I'm gonna when I do my calls and my intention is to kind of touch base with almost everyone on the list and just see. And it's been on my list of things to do for years since we moved back from Colorado. I feel like we saw everybody more when we lived there than I do now that I live here. So I want to get in touch with everybody anyway. So that's some information I'm going to gather when I make those phone calls and just see.
Okay, so what I just want to let's really highlight to you, and Tim will probably agree with this, is get all those things right up front, because otherwise when you go, oh, I'm going to send out this email to everybody, that's how I'll get a hold of them, and you go, crap, I've got 20% of the people I don't have emails. Or okay, fine, I'll do all by text. Yeah, 20% I don't have their phone number, or this is something we want to put in the mail, and then you don't have addresses. Absolutely, one of the most important things is to get really, really good basic contact data to start with, and then you start adding on. as you're seeing somebody's Facebook and you see that, you know, people are starting to tell them happy birthday, like put that in there. This is when their birthday is. Then next year, before that, you'll get a list of whose birthdays are in September and whose are in February, and you can write out all of your birthdays, and by that time you'll have people with anniversaries from the house that you sold them. You'll have the anniversary dates in there, because when you put the transaction in and you align it with the name, you will have the date that the transaction closed, and the system will record that. And next year on that date, it'll say 1 year anniversary for Scott's family, you know, Scott, Elif and whatever the rest of your family. It'll show you that that's an anniversary, and it'll keep on doing that. So you now you have a system working for you, and you don't have to remember, oh, damn, that's when we closed on that house, or how long have they lived in that house? It's all, every bit of that data is now becoming part of your smart system, how you manage this database. The richer that database, the valuable your business is at the end of this. The richer the database, the more valuable you can sell your business. So just know that that's the other end of this. That's the legacy side that you guys will eventually get to. So because you can't sell your name. I mean, your name is your name, and when you leave your business, you take your name with you. So what is it, you know? Okay. So the 80-20 rule is, who can tell me what that was about, 80-20 rule?
80% referrals and contacts and 20% of technical knowledge.
Anything else about 80-20?
80%
80%.
of business will come from 20% of your referral.
Say that again.
80% of your business will come from 20% of your contacts.
Of your effort.
Effort.
Oh,
Okay.
efforts. There you go.
Anything else? 80-20? So overall in the real estate marketplace, it's generally 80% of the business is done by 20% of the agents. That figure last year was 18% of the agents were doing 82% of the business. This year, it's estimated that it will be something around 15 to 14% of the agents are going to be doing all the rest of the business.
Yeah.
Okay. So 80-20 rule is a really, really important rule to know and understand. So that in itself will guide you, because if there's going to be 15% of the realtors, and I will tell you something. One of the biggest claims to fame that our company has is our per agent productivity. Our agent, and it's still that way, right, Tim?
Absolutely. It's high, way high.
Do you have numbers, Tim?
Well, no, I don't. The last time I knew it, we've always been, since we started the company, our ratio of production, average agent production is the highest in the city. Last time, I think it was like 3.1 or something like that, which doesn't sound very high, but it is the largest in the city.
Versus the average of a couple of the other companies, it's like 1.5. And even the second company to us, the second biggest company to us
wasn't even close.
2.3.
This is Tom. Tom never calls me, so I got to take it.
We were like 3.1. So that's a really important figure to understand. And the reason why is because of the way that we are a collaborative business with each other. So there may be a company that has 1,000 agents. There is a company here that has 1,000 agents, but do they all like work together to make sure everybody makes it out of the plane with a parachute? So that's the difference, and the quality of education, and because we drive you back to you. That's what our goal is, to drive you back to you, your skills, your talents, your database of people, and just give you the tools. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So So database wise, Scott, you already just gave some input. You haven't really gotten that far into it. Corey, what are you doing with your database and how's it going?
Yeah, I'm just, my database, I had one before. It was just relatively small. So I think I am up to like 70 or 80. So I'm just trying to finalize, kind of getting some other people that I wasn't worried about getting into it. I still need to get them in there. They can still be Cs and Ds and still be in the database.
So why would you have a D in your database at this point?
Just so that way I have it, if that ever changes, if they become something that isn't a D, they're already in there, and it's an easy transition to get them to say they're somewhere that I never thought would buy from me, but they end up doing, or whatever it may be. That way they're in there and it's all in one place.
Okay, and what's a C to you?
C is just somebody that is more of kind of the outskirts of family and friends, somebody that is maybe further away from me. Like I've got a couple of people that I know that are in Lincoln. So to me, those are C's just because they're not, they're still an important part of my database, but they're not something that I'm going to drive all of my attention towards.
Okay, so then the use could be somebody, if you put somebody in there because they're in Lincoln,
Mhm.
they could be somebody in Lincoln who's thinking about buying or selling. So they would actually be an A, but they would be in your group of Lincoln A's.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
that's what I'm trying
then
to.
you, yeah, then you start slicing them out of there. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, great. Challenges that you're having with Referral Maker?
I think my biggest thing is unless they were a client of mine, I didn't have an email address. So I'm trying to kind of come up with a way to kind of work on that and expand that. Kind of like you said, that's the hardest part I think I'm having is making sure I have all of it right up front. So
Suggestions, anybody on how you can do that? On how?
Yeah, I talked to Leslie Dollinger about this the other day. She suggested a site called Pipl, PIPL.com. They have a 5-day free trial. I think I'm going to buy it for a month because 5 days is quite concentrated for, I have 300 on my list, but some of them are really old contacts. So I can't really trust some of the data that's in there.
Is this what you're talking about? Yeah. Where's
No,
that?
it's PIPL. It's like, people, you could use it to like check on people's like whether they have a criminal background, but it has
Oh,
a lot
okay.
of their contact
PIPL,
information in there.
okay.
I also you can use Assessor for people who own homes, and then I used Forewarn if you have that through your Spark insurance. I use Forewarn for a lot, but a lot of with Forewarn they tend to give you many phone numbers, and there were a couple on there that they try to tell you recency, but there were a couple on there that said they had a more recent number, but I knew to be incorrect when I was checking for their address. So just be aware of that those might not be accurate. So sometimes I'll put 2 numbers in there and hope for hope
Do they
for the
have,
best. But
do they have emails also, Kathy?
they don't in Forewarn. So I haven't given Pipl a go yet, just because I've been a little bit too crazy to sit down, and I wanted to get all the use
Sure.
of that 5 days that I could. But hopefully
Yeah.
that's the one that turns out.
Another thing is for when you're first doing this, be very vigilant about don't go in too many directions, because then you're going down a rabbit hole. You know, you download a new app and then you got to set it up and then you got to do this and you got to do that. All of a sudden you're like enmeshed in this thing and you're still not getting anything done that's going to help build your business yet. So one thing at a time that really valuably works is good. But I'd like to know more about Pipl, and I think I'm going to do some investigating, because if it came from Leslie, she's delineated a whole bunch of them before she got to that. So
I've heard her talk about it, but I don't know anything about it.
yeah. This one that I was showing you, this Popl, I don't know if any of you guys have that, but when you download the app, like if I'm close to somebody and I want to give them my contact information, all I have to do is just set this to their phone, and I can get their contact information and they can get mine.
I have that, but it's
not that
totally
close.
similar.
I'm not that close to anybody, and haven't been for a really long time to do that, but Max thought I should have one. So anyway, so that's called POPL. Dennis.
Okay. So I'm assuming that this is a safe space, and if any of you tell my family I said anything, I'm gonna deny it, but I've got my mailing list and I'm working on uploading my mailing list into the referral maker, but I'm finding the clip where he broke down what the realtor's percentage of time was throughout their day, and it's like 37% running errands and stuff. I'm finding that my family this past week really sandbagged me with trying to get on track with this. So with the snow day and running kids to appointments and stuff, I just am a little behind. So I'm hoping to catch up and get everybody that I have into the referral maker by the end of this weekend.
Okay, cool. You need any help? Are you stuck with anything or just stuck with
I'm
time?
not stuck with anything. I'm just stuck with trying to figure out how to juggle things more than
Okay.
anything.
Prioritizing. We'll get to that somewhere along
Sure.
the line. And we won't tell anybody.
Sure.
Don't even know like what you said, so.
I work at a bank. And I've worked here like 20 years. And so I know lots and lots and lots of people, but I can't necessarily get their contact information from the bank,
Mhm.
so I have to like reach out a different way. But I've been making a list of just people I know. And I mean, I live in a fairly small town, so hopefully I'll run into some of them out and about.
Yes, good.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter who, what matters is at least number one. For me, I'm not gonna just put anybody I know in my database anymore because my database totally, I've been in this business for 19 years. My database has 292 people in it.
Right.
I could tell you who every single person is. I can tell you probably where they live. I can tell you what their kids' names are. I mean, pretty much. Maybe there's a few that I don't know that much about it, but if they hit my database and I'm going to spend time and money on them of any kind for where I am in my business. Now, you guys have a little bit different because you got to have a kind of a hatchery. The you're going to go from birth to really getting people into a place, but even in that, it's good to get all that information up front. You can always do away with it. And there are people that you're going to delete, and you delete them. You don't even care whether they ever want to buy a house again. You delete them. Like, I don't want anything to do with that person again, or they don't even make it into the database. So, but right now, just go with the people your family, your friends, your people you went to school with, people who serve you, doctors, dentists, people like that. So, and then you can go backwards from that. So.
The way I I delineated it is that at first I had a database. It was a database. Eventually it became a list of relationships. So to your point, Carol, so like you, I've been in the business for a very long time. I've sold thousands of houses, but I only have 319 people in my database because my database is actually a list of relationships. These are the people I know.
Okay.
So
I've had many people come to me for coaching and say, they're like really proud, like, hey, I have 3,300 people in my database. And I'm like, man, we got a lot of work to do. Like, it's like that. It was like, here I have this amazing thing. And I'm like, oh, that's bad. Like, like now we got to get that down because it's not.
You can't have a relationship with 3,000 people.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. And we'll talk about like, okay, so then what do you do with them? So you put them in your referral maker. Then what do you do with them? So having them in your referral maker, and the reason why I want to make sure you got your apps downloaded is that's your contacts. Now, you don't have to also put them in your contacts on your phone. That app has the contact on it. And when you open somebody up, not only does it give you their name and a phone number and address, but it tells you exactly where you are. Like you could be driving around and it'll tell you like, hey, you're only 3 blocks from this person. Like if you want to do a pop-by, which is something that we talk about next time, and we got a bunch of stuff to give you guys for that next time, and having them in your trunk already. So all these things are going to completely tie together, and you're going to think like, oh my God, this totally makes sense. And it's not that hard or complicated. So
Okay.
one of the reasons is because the company supports you in all this, and just know we're kind of on an island by ourselves with that. Not very many companies do this, what we do. So yeah, so let's keep going.
Sure.
Where were we? Katie?
Gonna unmute myself there. I have a barking dog, so I keep muting myself. But hi, everybody. No, at first I felt with Referral Maker, you know, kind of the thought of it, just I felt a little overwhelmed by. But then I watched the tutorials and things like that, and it seems just very user friendly. There's still just a few things with it that I'm trying to figure out and process. Like for instance, once you have a closed transaction, like I was trying to figure out how to put the people that I had closed transactions with, and it kept taking me to a page where it wanted me to like put their interests in as far as what they want in their house. And I'm like, no, it's already done. Like, I don't need to do that anymore. So maybe Tim or Carol, I might just ask you at some point just to see if we might share a screen and kind of walk through that, or I can just play around with it this week and try to figure it out too. But
Sure.
and then the only other thing was, so I've got contacts in, still working. I love the memory joggers to kind of go through on that page 21 to kind of go through and figure out even new people to put in. And my only other question then was for Kathy. You had mentioned like a Forewarn app, and not that that's this topic right now, but just at some point, I'd love to learn a little bit more about that too. So,
Sure.
and where I'm at.
Tim, also, maybe you can have Leslie send out something again about Forewarn. And then when we get into when we go into some safety programs that we've got on the table right now, we're going to also be highlighting all the things that are available through Better Homes and Gardens that will enhance everything else that we bring forward. So
Makes
I will
perfect
mention to Katie, don't just go buy Forewarn, definitely buy it, like get the Spark, because it's actually cheaper to get the insurance, which comes with Forewarn, than just purchasing Forewarn as a standalone.
yeah,
Oh,
Good to know. Thank you, Kathy.
good tips, Kathy. Bridget. Can't hear you, hon. You're not on mute, but I can't hear you. Can you
your
guys hear?
microphone.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I bet you when you logged on, you may not have clicked the
Down,
sound.
down on the thing that says microphone. Mute. Is that it?
Anybody else?
Paul?
You want to go to me?
Yeah, we're gonna go to Paul and Bridget as soon as you get it fixed.
Yeah, so I was able to upload a list into Referral Maker. And so I'm kind of in that 300 to 400 name range.
Okay.
And I need to go through and, start qualifying it.
Yeah.
My thought was I got a lot, like I think some of the others where I have either just an email or just a phone number. So I need to figure out how to get all the information. And I was thinking, I think I'd prefer to just try to contact people and have a conversation with them. And so I'd be curious if, you've got any recommended verbiage, or I thought this would be a good opportunity to let them know what I was doing and why I wanted the information.
Okay. Tim, you want to speak to that?
Well, I mean, are any of these videos going to speak to that, to how we do this? I mean,
Yes. Okay. You're right. The next one, in fact, we just watched the contact care community. So Paul, this next week's videos are going to exactly speak to that. How
you're going to find ways to get information out of the clients that work for you. It's the ways that you say it, the ways you ask for it, the way you do it. Brian, I mean, I haven't seen it how he's going to do it in this video or in this class, but in the past he would basically say, from time to time, I come across really good real estate information. I would love to put you on my list. May I get your home address and phone number? Something along those lines. But you'll figure out what feels comfortable for you.
And you will hear some dialogues that I suggest you open your mind to really listening to the way that he says things, because he doesn't say, can I have your address? What's the best place for me to send and send something to. What's the best phone number for me to reach you? What is the best email for me to communicate with you? Not, can I have your email? Can I have your phone number? Can I have your address? Because that's very off-putting to me. Can I have your address? I don't know. What do you want to do with it? But what's the best address? For me, I go like, okay, well, the best address is, is my home address or my business address or whatever. So it's the way that you actually say things. In the next videos that we just watched, he introduces you to the mayor campaign with Joe Nego, to that verbiage, Tim. So it's going to be,
Good.
it will be how you would do this, but also he talks about the introductory letter that you send out to your database to people, which that letter gets sent out, or you can do it by email, whichever one we're doing right now. And it gets sent out, and then you follow it with a phone call. Hey, recently sent you a letter, it had my, stuff in it. I'm super excited about my, my new career. I just wanted to touch base with you and, let you know that, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, there's a kind of a process and there's steps to do it. So
And that's all in next week's modules.
all in next week's modules.
Okay.
Contact, care, community, competency, which is the whole basis for all of this.
Right.
So, Kathy.
Can anyone hear me yet?
Yay. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Just wanted to check.
Okay, go ahead, Bridget, you can jump in here.
Okay. So yeah, I downloaded my contacts into it. I had a decent sized list that I had started a while ago. That was just an Excel spreadsheet, so it was pretty easy for me to get those uploaded. But I found that as I was going through, I was kind of going through the contacts and trying to rate them as I went through. And I ended up, I feel like, deleting more than I thought that I would, just because for various reasons, just people that I didn't think that I would maybe ever talk to again, people that I really didn't ever know really well enough, maybe to ever feel comfortable calling them, or people I didn't connect with very well. Some people had moved recently too out of the Omaha area before I got my license. So I ended up removing some of those, but I'm hoping to kind of go back through and be able to add some in again. I'm just kind of trying to organize it, is where I'm at. But I did download the app on my phone and I'm having issues signing into it. So I don't know. We can talk about that if we're gonna do that at a later time. But yeah, I've tried to sign in a couple times, and it just it'll spin a little bit, like it's thinking about letting me sign in, and then it'll just stop, and the screen it doesn't say password wrong or anything like that. It just spins for a half a spin and then stops.
Oh,
I don't
know. You're talking about the Buffini app?
Yeah.
Well, you can call Buffini. They're great. They're easy to work with.
Okay. So just call them.
Call them. Their customer service.
1-800-645-8. 1-800. Huh. Okay, 1-800-645 something. Hang on.
Well, I know I got an email from a guy at Buffini already. So I'm sure I can. He said he was like a contact for me there.
Okay, if you have his name, that will be helpful.
Yeah, I do. I still have his email. So
it's 945-3485. So it's 800-945-3485. And you can always just go to customer care. But if you have somebody's extension, that would be, probably more helpful but you'll probably have to leave a message. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great.
Pretty much where I'm at.
Who's next? Kathy?
Yeah, I pretty much started with my Christmas list and deleted out any out-of-staters. And then I don't know if anybody else does this, but this might be a tip is I have a certain number of people that seem to watch my Instagram stories every day. And I feel like if they're willing to watch those every day, that they'd be willing to hear from me. So I messaged all those people and asked them for their address. So I added them as well.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I figure they, at least one side of that feels like we have a relationship. So.
I don't care if you don't love me, I love you.
And that went pretty well. So, I mean, a few people never responded, but whatever.
Good.
And then, so I was talking with Leslie about this, is I kind of have kind of weird old relationships in that I've been part of the art community and we'll get together really closely for about 3 months at a time and then like never see each other for maybe years. And then when we're back together, it's great and happy and new again. And I have those contacts, but a lot of them are extremely old. And I would feel odd reaching out kind of salesy because that is not in any way the relationship we would have had. So they're on there. I'm not sure. I'd feel more comfortable mailing them things
Okay.
rather than picking up the phone and calling
Good
those
start.
contacts.
It's an
Yeah.
okay start. And you can figure it out later. One other thing you said that I wanted to go back to is you said you deleted all your out-of-state relationships.
But yeah, my husband's family is from Florida. So it's less my relationship to begin with. If I have like a very strong like personal friend, sure, I can leave them on there. I have a lot of friends in New York somehow, so they're still on there. But
So for
yeah.
the sake of like just so you understand what I would want you to do with that and what I do with that is I have my group of out-of-state people. There's campaigning around, I can help you find an agent there.
Sure.
So you can get referral fees.
Sure.
And you'd want them all in the same spot. But at the same time, if there are people you have any kind of relationship with that, kind of inquire once in a while, they're active, on your Facebook here and there, they, hope you're doing well, kind of doesn't have to be, deep, but having them on a regular list of maybe it's even something, the e-report that goes out on email once a month or something, just so they see that you're still there. And right now that it's very effective. So grouping out-of-state people, you can make a lot of money over your career by being the person who is the trusted advisor, even outside of your own area. So
Yeah,
Great.
it's true.
Thank you.
okay. Who's next? Kylie? Kylie.
What? I'm right here.
Referral maker, are you?
Yeah, I put in like, I don't know, 30 or 40 people, and I've just manually entered them. I didn't really have a list going. And like I said, I know, like, I have lived in the same small town for my whole entire life. And so I probably know 3/4 of the people in town, but how well I know them is, debatable.
Sure.
So,
It's a good way to find out when you start going through it and
well,
thinking.
I mean, I go out and about and people are like, "Are you selling real estate now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, here's my card." And, I'll visit with them. I'm like, "Do you know somebody that's getting ready to sell or buy?" But then I'm in kind of the same boat with all of the rest of the real estate agents around here. They are all have been here their whole lives too. So, it's just, who do you like?
Where do you live?
I'm in Plattsmouth.
Okay.
I live in Bellevue now, but I still own a house here in Plattsmouth too, and I work in Plattsmouth full time.
So is that where you want to do all your business, is in Plattsmouth area?
I think I'll get probably getting started here is a good idea because a lot of my family's here, a lot of my friends live here. Beaver Lake area, Murray. I lived in Murray for 20 years.
Okay.
So I'll probably kind of get going in this area, but I do live in Bellevue now.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah. First off, I was just going to say doing this whole process of uploading my contacts was like, it was an eye opener. I've always heard the adage, about networking and all of that. And when I watched that video and started plugging in my contacts, it just clicked for me. I finally understood what that meant to network. And I realized that over the last, like 15 years, I've been networking and I love working with people and I know a lot of people. And so I got super excited, just plugging in all my contacts. And I think I got about 120 so far that I put in. And those are all addresses. And then some phone numbers and some emails. And I had brought this up last week about how do I reach out again and be like, hey, you know, can I get your email? Because I got a whole bunch of addresses for just for my announcement cards, but I didn't get any other information when I got that because I didn't really understand all this. I probably would have got it all at once if I could have, but now it's kind of like, hey, now I need your address or your phone number.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Email.
right.
So I kind of had that same question, but it sounds like that'll get answered here soon.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I've been having a blast. Just last night, I finally rated everybody. You know, I think I got close to 30 A+, so that's exciting. I got some in there D's. It's kind of weird, kind of trying to figure out what is this person? Are they a D? You know, some of them, are they a C? Some of them, like my wife knows, and she got some addresses for me, and so I don't know them at all, so I don't even know, you know, how that would work. But it's been really fun, and I'm super excited. I caught a fire the other day.
I can
going
tell.
through- Yeah.
Yeah, good. So A+, just so you know, A+ are people that know you, trust you, would know how to refer you, and they have referred you multiple times.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So then
In order
most
to
of
get
mine
into
would
the-
be A's then, is that right?
Yeah, in order to get into the
Okay.
A+, you have got to be like one of my best sources of
for A.
referral, because I'm going to take care of you like you can't believe for this year. And I have, how many A+ do you have, Tim?
19.
Yeah, I have about 13, 14.
I don't have 30 A+ then.
No, no, you don't. If you did, you'd have at least probably 60 transactions closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
so it goes by, like, these are the people who grease for my wheels, you know? So A's are going to be people you're working with right now, and people who know you, trust you, and would refer you. And maybe they have, you know, like it maybe didn't close, but those are your A's. Your B's are people who know you. They not sure why they trust you yet, because haven't experienced your competency and your care and your communication and all those things yet. But they have good potential of moving up to an A, or they're sitting there and they're kind of like, someday they're going to sell. You kind of know that. C's are people that, you know, maybe you got a Zillow lead or some lead that you have no idea anything about these people. You just know that they have an interest in selling or buying. And D's are, they say D's are for delete, but I don't see any reason to store deletes, because if I'm deleting them, I'm like on the Ellen DeGeneres show when they, you know, she lets the thing go and they go down in the ground, like, you know, or the water comes on, they're gone. Like, so I use my D for my outside realtor relationships.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
yeah, or you could use it for your vendors or something. So, but A+, that's a special place. Okay.
Okay, that makes sense. I thought it was just someone that you were close to. I didn't realize it was actually like someone who is in the real estate, you know, that you've interacted in real estate. So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Okay. So who did I miss anybody? I think we got you all. And I was hoping we would have a little break time before the next class, but looks like we got 5 minutes. So you guys want to take a breath, and then we'll reconvene. Let's reconvene right back at noon. And I mean, that gives me like 4 minutes, but at noon. And then I'm just going to leave this up.
Can you turn it off though? And
Yes,
log
I
off?
will. And then I'll start.
Log off, log back on,
start the
because we record